Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Get ready.
Get ready in
10,
9, 8,
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's time for Web3 Breakfast.
Streaming to over 180 countries around the world.
Getting down and dirty with everything crypto.
Everything crypto. And bringing your daily fix of Web3 analysis and news.
Brought to you by the Crypto Magazine and your hosts,
Jay Chains and Mr. Dude. Buckle up, settle down,
and let's grow. What's up, everybody? GM. Happy Thirsty Thursdays. Hope you are just cruising through your week. Everything is magical and amazing. We got just one more day to get through, and then it's pizza day. It's Pizza Friday. Super excited to have this show going on right now. Guys, crypto's, you know, it's kind of maybe stabled off right now, but we'll see if we touch 59 today. Super excited to get into that. While you guys are filling into the auditorium, make sure that you say hi to the usher, your aisle greeter. In the back, we've got the buffet. We got waffles, coffee. Mr. Dude brought some new Canadian flavored creamers today. So with that being said, they're like double bubble flavored creamers for your coffee. So I decided to wear a Canadian tuxedo today. So I've got my blue jeans on and I got my chambray denim shirt. I did it in honor of the Canadian friends that we've got. I hope that's okay with you guys. It was fun. It was fun riding the motorcycle with this because it was like the wind was catching into it. Because typically every day I'm riding with like a hoodie or whatever on, and so this was just a little different today. But hey, that's all right. Sometimes you gotta rock that Canadian tux. Do you guys in Canada actually do a lot of double denim?
No.
What?
I mean, maybe like in Alberta or something, or some of those little towns.
Why do
yeah, that's all right. If you own a horse, then maybe you wear denim, but other than that, track pants.
Track pants.
Even on the ice there, bud, you just go skating.
Say that one more time. Your accent got very thick there.
Even on the ice there, buds, we just wear sweats out there.
Oh, gotcha.
Fucking A.
Man, I would have thought, like, we call this thing the Canadian tux. I thought this was like super being respectful to you guys. It'd have been like, you know, me showing up in like a suit or something. But I feel bad now. I'm gonna probably just take the denim shirt off. So
no, we love it. We love it.
No, it's coming off. That's it. I'm never wearing this fucking thing again. There we go. All right. If you're watching the stream,
I think you're about a decade late on that one.
Whoa, okay. I mean, listen, I have no problem with trying to do what's the one step more where you were to go like, say you go jeans, then you go like a denim shirt and then like a jean jacket, like the 3-piece Canadian tux. Is that like an actual thing?
No, you need one of those little ties, those little cowboy. You need something flannel as well.
A bolo tie?
Flannel, something denim.
Okay.
Now
I feel like
one of those, you know, like that Fargo hat with like the sides,
the ears. Okay, so I feel like now we're starting to hybrid between Texas, Colorado. Texas and Colorado seem to be like Canada. That's our Canadian offering, huh? We just have it split up among two different states.
White males who ride horses, all dressed the same.
Listen, that was me.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a jean jacket anymore. Nobody wears fucking jean jackets. We wear jeans. We wear jeans, the mustache. Jesus Christ. What are you guys talking about? Manitoba? Like, Christ on high, man. Nobody wears a fucking cowboy hat. Nobody wears
Alberta,
fucking...
they do, bud. You got to go to the Stampede.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. In the Stampede, then you're going to see everybody in cowboy hats and flannel shirts and fucking sheepskin fucking shirts.
Let me ask you a question. I have a feeling that this is going to be like a craft dinner kind of a situation. The Stampede, is that just a rodeo?
Yeah, the Calgary Stampede.
Yeah, it's a big-ass rodeo, dude.
Why don't you just call it the rodeo?
Like a world-renowned one.
Why don't you just call it the rodeo?
You can get foot-long fries there.
What?
What do you mean, the rodeo? The rodeo? Because it's the greatest fucking show on earth, bud.
Yeah, I think like the Calgary Stampede is like. Do
you? I don't know. How can we put this to a poll? I might have to tweet this out. Do you think? And where was the Canadian version? Where did you say?
The Calgary Stampede.
The Calgary Stampede.
Yeah.
Do we think the Calgary Stampede is bigger than the San Antonio or the Houston Rodeo? Probably the Houston.
Absolutely not.
Probably
Absolutely
not. I think it's called the Stampede because it's like the business name. Like it's actually like the Calgary Stampede.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And everybody comes here. It's like consensus, right? So everybody from the States and Mexico come up here and Brazil to fucking compete because it's like the Stanley Cup of rodeo or whatever. But
like I bet you if
it's
you
not the greatest show on earth.
San Antonio that are like
call
go there every year. They do like they do all the stuff down there. That's like it'd be like a stop on like a racetrack kind of thing, right? Like it's like one of the stops on the tour for those guys.
Okay, now let me ask you a question. Do you guys have mutton busting up in Canada?
LOL. WTF.
Mutton busting? What was that?
Yeah. Mutton busting? Oh my God. Like mutton busting is literally the coolest thing in the world. So they take kids from like 3 to 6 and they ride bareback on a sheep and they get the gear. So they get a helmet and, they've got their pearl snaps on and their jeans and their boots. And just like, they tie into a sheep and they let them go kind of like what like a normal person would do with like a bull. Bro.
So they do that. They let the little kids do that, but with a tiny cow. And it's fucking hilarious. And then they ask the kids after, hey, kids, what's your favorite part of this? And they're like, watching other little kids get drugged through the mud. It's fucking hilarious, man.
Dude, I like okay, so you guys are a little more
and they get drugged every time.
You guys are a little bit more
they use real cows, man. Yeah, no sheep
so that's
involved.
Gangster using cows. We use sheep down here. We like that's a little bit better for like that age range, I think. Sheep are a little bit more docile, I think.
Well, a lot of these people end up growing up to be fucking actual like steer wranglers and shit, right? Like they're starting pretty young with a real cow, and then being real cowboys.
Can I be real with you guys? Most of you don't know this about me. My wife could probably post a picture and tag me in it if she wanted to, so that I could prove this. But many, many years ago, when I lived in Colorado, I was like a rancher, like a wrangler, right? We did wrangle rides through the Rockies. I did some chuck wagon cooking. I could rope and ride. I've done like rode a bull for not 8 seconds, but I rode that fucker. So that was my life at one point. That's like, Ye freaking haw, man. I still got the spurs. I still got the whole thing, man. That was wild. I honestly, so in all the shit that I've done in my life, I've done a lot of things, like a lot of different things. As weird as it sounds, this horse ranch that I worked out in Colorado, the coolest thing that I ever did in my entire life. When I say coolest, it was like what brought me like some weird satisfaction. And now this is previous to what I do now. Like this is what I was meant to do. This is what I was put on this planet to do, what I do now. But back then, the greatest thing that I ever accomplished was and there was about 250 head of horse on the ranch, right? And so we had a skid steer. So you'd go and skid steer all the horse shit into a pile, and then you dump it into a back of a dump truck. And then I would drive like 2 miles down some bumpy, dusty dirt mountain road, go drop it into like this big pit that we dug, right? And then like that would be it. Like you do that like once a day, you throw in a big old chew, Copenhagen long, come on, baby. And then, man, you just there, you got horse shit flying on you, but it doesn't matter because like you are just straight up in your zone, in your element. I will tell you, if you ever have the opportunity to spend time with horses on a capacity like that, I know most of us it's never going to happen, but like a City Slickers thing, if you get a chance to do that, do it. Get out there and work with some horses, man. I tell you what, they are amazing, amazing creatures, and it was a time of my life, bro. It was
completely
also
therapeutic animal.
They are. It was also kind of like the real world, if you will. It was a lot of well, that's a story for another day. We'll save that one for another day.
That's pretty awesome, man. I get it. I've done a lot of different weird things with my life. It's always good to hear another side of J-Chains that we didn't know before.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Very interesting.
Anytime, I'm an open book. I'm an open book. Like anybody can just ask questions all the time. I don't mind.
Mike Vollmer on YouTube wants to know where in Colorado.
Estes Park. Yeah, so right there.
Beautiful area.
What's that?
That place is beautiful. That's a beautiful place.
Oh my god! And you get like the elk. They do their rut like right there in town. It is just one of the most the magnificent places on earth is in Colorado. Unfortunately, it's been a number of years since I've been back. I know that there was like the beetle issue with like 70 to 90% of the trees in the Rockies there in Colorado were going to be absolutely destroyed, devastated because of some beetle infestation. So I don't know the status of what it looks like now, but I'll tell you what, man. For a number of years, I lived in Colorado. And being in Estes Park was probably my favorite place of all of Colorado. That or like when you go like actually west, like Steamboat Street, like Steamboat is a really cool place. If you guys have never been to like the actual mountains of Colorado, you go there in the summer too. You can like mountain bike first. If you don't like skiing or snowboarding, you can do that shit in the summertime. That's fun.
Rocky Mountain oysters, man. I fell for that up there.
Let's see. I just got the text message from Wit. Here it is. I'm gonna post this pic. What's that?
I was gonna say, if people don't know what Rocky Mountain oysters are, they have a little nutty taste to them. So there you go.
Yeah, they're nuts. All right.
Yeah.
So Jay, you saw that,
I'm gonna, like, somehow kick myself out of Twitter and shut the show down if I do that. I'll do it later. You guys will see that. You'll see a picture of me. I am full canter on a horse. In this picture, full canter on a horse, spinning a lasso. I used to be able to do that shit in another world. Nathan, my guy, what's up?
Hey. I just got an idea. I don't know who it was that was just saying, just when someone just said, oh, it was really good to find a bit more about you that we didn't know when you were talking about the horses. Mm-hmm. Every issue in the Crypto Mag, we have a feature called People in Crypto, which is just the crypto everyman, just investors, people in crypto. They might have a Telegram channel, they might offer advice. How about we interview J-Chains as part of our People in Crypto, and we get the community to ask questions on what they'd like to know about you?
I'm into it. I'm 100,000% down with that. I think that'd be great.
Yeah, he just come to just while you was talking. And I thought, oh, we could feature J-Chains in the People in Crypto section. Let's do that.
Hey, did you guys know that Crypto Magazine has 3 million people on their email list that will hear about J-Chains? Just a little fun fact for you guys.
Have fun with those questions. Like, have you ever had relations with a horse?
How old were you when you had your first pube?
Down and dirty.
I can already see how these questions are going to go. Let's just say, for full transparency, we may not print every question.
Yeah. Let's keep it mag friendly. I'm like, we could maybe have one degen question, but what, as far as like, if you guys ever did want to do like an AMA and literally ask any question in the world of me, you could. Like, I wouldn't have any hesitation with that whatsoever.
Yeah, that could be fun. Let's do that. I'm going to get that underway.
All right. And okay, so I told you about the coolest job that I ever had. Now, let me just really quick before we move on, because I got to do some house cleaning stuff. The worst job, the shittiest job that I ever had. I was in high school. It was winter time. It's what I did like during Christmas break to make extra like Christmas money cash. I worked at Best Buy. And I was a football player. I was a big guy, right? And so I worked in like the warehouse and the stock room. And one day they asked me to come into like the office and said, hey, we need you to go into the men's restroom and clean something up. And I was like, all right, I'll check it out, see what it is. And so I go in there, and in one of the shit stalls, some guy had shit his pants and then proceeded to just put it onto the wall and like just stick it to the wall, right? And I walk in and they're like, yeah, you got to clean that up. And I say, yeah, like literally, I was in high school. I said, you guys can go fuck yourself. Like, I quit. Like, no. Like, I respect myself more than that to clean someone else's shit up off the wall. No, thank you. And I walked out. That was the worst job I ever had. Literally walked out. Never looked back. Fuck off, Best Buy. There we go.
Wow.
All right. I feel like I had to tell that one because it's funny how like we hate like the poop stories, but the best time I've had in my working life and the worst time that I had in my working life both involved fecal matter at some way, shape, or form, which is oddly strange. Anyway.
I was going to say, you came full circle there.
It did. And maybe that's why I just hate the poop talk so much. It's just such a big part of my life. I don't know. Whatever. But at the end of the day, guys, thank you so much for being here. I'm seeing that we got almost 200 people in the space. We got over 100 people watching live on the stream. That means a couple good things. One, we do give away GOTTI every single day. We got the post pinned up into the breakfast table. It's also pinned on the profile for Web3 Breakfast. It lets you know what you need to do to qualify to win that. So what we do is we give $100 away for every 100 people in the space. Right now, we're getting close to 200 people, which means 200 people, 2 people would take home $100 each. So that thing will just accrue as we get on and with the show. So the ball's now in your court. You guys know what's happening. And so for us to give away more money, ultimately burn double that amount of money, you got to get more people in here. So start lighting it up. So you can do it either just by hitting the purple pill down in the bottom right, or if you really want to try to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, win money and take care of that, just go up to the breakfast table, go to the pinned post, and figure what you got to do. Do the things. Do the things.
Can I tell you something real fast?
Absolutely.
Because you were talking about fecal matter.
Yeah.
I consider as soon as Bitcoin goes below 60,000, we have a fecal matter cleanup that we need to do. So I think we may have a cleanup on aisle number 1 there here shortly here.
Okay, well, that's unfortunate because I feel like this is going to happen. I think the magic number is 54. If we go below 54, that's a problem because then we completely break the structure that we're in, and then we probably have 3 months of another bear market, only because it would probably take that long to redefine a new structure. And so we don't want to break 54. We can do it because that still keeps us within the support level of the ascending kind of where we're at. But if we break that, guys, we are screwed because that's that flag, right? If you paid attention on the afternoon show, if you look at the monthly on Bitcoin, it's really easy to see. You can look at the monthly or the weekly, and it's really the weekly maybe even easier to see, where over the last several months, you've got these sharp ups and then downs, right? And there's really some measurement to the moves. Like there seems to be like around 20-ish days is how this move is measured. And so almost to the T, where we saw, Bitcoin just recently go to 64 and then get rejected back down to where we are. Again, the bottom of that support level is in like the high 54s. If we break through that and continue to go down, that's when we got a problem. We do not want to see that happen. But if we go to like 55, that's okay. That'd be healthy. That'd be good. If this is your first time, I know you're scared. I know it hurts. Just grab a pillow and bite it. You'll be fine. You'll be okay because guess what? It gets better.
Well, I got my poncho on, I got my gloves, I got my respiratory mask on because we're at 59.8 on BTC. So there we go. Let's go clean it up.
It's got to get the hazmat crew.
Keep your mouth closed, everybody. Keep your mouth closed.
So all right, so let's talk about that. That's kind of the whole theme of the day. Typically it's either Bitcoin or RWAs. I think, we did RWAs last Thursday. Bitcoin kind of just talking about the market in general, right? Because it's really important. Again, what I just said is that we maintain certain levels and, we're hovering around that. I don't know where we are at right now. Let me check CoinMarketCap unless we've dumped or pumped since the show started.
Oh, no, we're back over 60. Sorry, I spoke too soon. So it just went to 58.8 and then popped back up to 60.
Here, look.
59.8. Sorry, my bad there.
Fear and greed index is at 36. Guys, this thing has been a roller coaster over the last several months. I mean, we just keep going, back up to the 50s, 40s, 30s, 50s, 40s, 30s. We're just, man, it'd be fun to see a chart of where that thing has actually been. I wonder if anybody tracks the actual fear and greed index on a chart. Maybe you can on CoinMarketCap. Let's see.
It feels like it's delayed. I don't know, like when they update the fear and greed, it's like, it's not, I don't know. I don't know what their algorithm is they use to calculate that, because it seems like right now would be very high. It would be cool if it was real time, positivity 60, 5 minutes later, fear 11,
Just like an actual like market center. Well, let's see. The coin stats, theirs is always like way different from where CoinMarketCap is. It's usually a little bit more dramatic. So maybe because I feel like that might be more right on. Where this one, let's see, this one says 37 fear, yesterday 42 fear, last week 61 greed. I don't know, what did it show on CoinMarketCap? Let me go back to what CoinMarketCap said. 36. I mean, It seems to be like right around the same, which is very strange because the coin stats fear and greed index and the coin market cap fear and greed index are usually completely different from each other. Like I said, coin stats will sway it like way more in the direction. You know, if it's like, so say, coin market cap's 36 fear, like coin stats would typically say like 28 fear. Like they're trying to like show you like, yeah, it's like, be scared right now. Buy this shit. Remember something, guys. No matter what we're talking about, no matter what the dips are, there is only one proven way that you can make money in crypto. Buy the fear, sell the greed. That's it, right? That's a fact.
Well, and traditionally, didn't the last cycle, the bull really like October start around October 15th or so?
Yeah.
I think that's like, what my research was showing.
So there was a tweet that I think came out the 2nd. Today's the 3rd, right? So it came out yesterday. And it was just one of those just like, guys, take it easy. October is not canceled. Here's the deal. If you look historically, it's like last year, it took 5 days to start. The year before that, it took it's like, man, what was it? It was like 20 something days. And then it seemed like the average was going to be like maybe 10 to 13 days, right? Like somewhere in there, like, so somewhere in the first 2 weeks,
right.
In that second week, somewhere in the second week of October is probably where we're really going to see the shift change and move on into October. I mean, that's fantastic. That's right around the time of the Karate Combat event. We'll all be in Salt Lake City at Permissionless, hanging out, watching my guy Postmaster. I like Hack the Snack, man. He's a good dude, but I'm going to tell you what, my guy Postmaster is going to knock him the fuck out. Let's go, my dog. How are you?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, Jay James. That's the plan, brother. Doing great. How's everybody there? Good, man. Just getting excited. I know that, we talk about fear in the markets and prices dumping and like, oh my God, what if it does drop to 54? The whole idea is it's your opportunity. It potentially could be your last opportunity. And I know some people procrastinate. Listen, I'm one of them too. Like I was trying to build this portfolio and I was having a hard time deciding what I wanted to add and put into it. But I started to slowly just make some decisions and do it. And yeah, are things down a couple cents? Yeah, I pulled the trigger on XRP yesterday. During a live stream, and then 5 minutes later found out that the SEC has decided to challenge the decision and appeal that. And so I saw XRP that I bought at 58.5 cents drop to what, 55 cents or 53 cents, whatever it is right now. But I don't care, right? You know why I don't care? Because the upside is so much greater. XRP doesn't give a shit about the SEC. They got business in other parts of the world. Right? So we're just finding right now opportunities so that we can position ourselves, guys, to take advantage of the bull run. That's the whole thing. And so, like we were just saying, if we're on borrowed time or if we have 1 week left, the second week of October is when we really see things kick off. Do what you got to do, man. Start selling some blood. Go to the donation center. Sell some fluids, right? Go sell some stuff on Marketplace. Do what you got to do to try to get that extra chicken in your account right now so that you can take care of your business after the bull run. Let's go.
Agreed. And on the XRP topic, so first of all, the dude put in the thing and then resigned, just like Hinman did. But also they can't challenge the fact that XRP is a security or not. Like that has been decided. They can't appeal that. It's basically just going to come down to money and like their secondary sales. So XRP, for anybody who might not know, is safe and it's in the clear. It's essentially the only one that's in the clear besides Bitcoin, and I think Gary might have mentioned Ethereum recently, but XRP is good to go.
What about are we good with, if they're moving forward with the Solana ETF, right? That was like an announcement. And SWI, would those be not securities as well if they've already said like
Gary hasn't come out and said his usual like it may or may not be a security. We haven't really ruled on it yet, right? So I guess, by the way, until that goes forward,
that was a spot on impression. I really like that.
Fantastic, Gary.
Nice. I'm gonna do that more often then.
Yeah. We're gonna have to do a segment with the moments with Gary.
Hasn't XRP just been agreed that they can expand into the Middle East as well?
Yeah. So Dubai, like their whole payments regulation system said, yeah, come on, let's play. That's what I'm saying. XRP, like I think it was Brad, if I'm not mistaken, Brad Garlinghouse is the one that came out and said, listen, honestly, we don't care what the SEC does. We don't care. Like there's so much more business throughout the world that is going to benefit us. Like
the SEC is small potatoes. Gary Gensler is taking L after L after L. There's no way that they win this appeal. Again, if it's just more money, it's just more money. It's at the end of the day, XRP is going to explode at some point. It's going to explode at some point, not if.
And I'll pin just for people who want to read. I'll find Jeremy Hogan's post from yesterday because he explained it all. But he basically said like he outlined every single point and how the SEC will just lose. He's like everyone seems to be just shocked. I think they're just doing it for the sake of doing it. It's just for the SEC. Like yes, it looks terrible, but they're just I don't know. It's just for the sake of going through the motions now. Like even if Trump wins and Gary gets fired day one, and it still has to go through to the courts, or in the same scenario, Harris wins and she doesn't fire him, and it still goes through to the court. It's just going to be the same outcome.
Well, and it's already priced in, isn't it? Like this, how much lower will XRP go? It's been around the same range for years. Like it's not going to go much lower, probably. Is what it seems like. So it seems priced in, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, okay, even again, like, say it drops to like 40 cents, even if it does. And I bought at 58 cents. It's 18 cents difference, right? Like, you sure as fuck it's going to be more than like 78 cents by the time the bull runs over. So, like, I'm not scared of short-term downturn, right? I'm not scared of it. And neither should you be. Unless you're in a leverage position, you should not be scared of this. This is just opportunity to either, again, buy whatever you wanted to have bought when you couldn't have, you thought you were priced out, right? Again, like, and what sucks about SWE is I was hoping that SWE was going to take a little nosedive with the rest of them, but for whatever fucking reason, SWE's not going down either. So that's the one that I
missed. It's interesting. Well, but also as far as XRP, their metaverses, I mean, the stuff they're working on with the metaverse is a giant use case. I think a lot of people are underestimating. You have Futureverse, which was built on XRPL and with the root network, so it's interoperable with Ethereum. They're working on, now XRP has smart contracts, so I think we're going to see bridges to Bitcoin as well. Then you have X Spectre, which is another metaverse project being built with XRP.
I think that one came out a while back. Is that the one that when it came out was like extremely, like their beta was like extremely rudimentary, like extremely, right?
What was that, X Spectre?
Yeah.
Is that the one?
I think so. I remember like now I remember a couple years ago, when I was doing a lot of the metaverse stuff, like I checked into one of these XRP metaverses, and it was like there was no graphics. It was almost like you're seeing, like I don't even know what that stuff's called, where it's like just the 3D modelings of what the metaverse should be, but there was literally nothing because that's where they were in the development phase at that particular point. It might have been that, and I forget what is the name of the big app that XRP uses. E2.
Yeah, I just know the current progress. Like everyone should look at Futureverse. Okay. They're partnered with Readyverse and Open for, just check that out. Like Alex Becker and them were talking about Readyverse recently because they're still they're still partnered with Readyverse and the movie Ready Player 2. And apparently Steven Spielberg is still going to help produce that second film. So I just think over the next 2 or 3 years, we're just going to see the metaverse built out. And I know XRP, there's some big projects using their tech. So
that's exciting. I'm Matthew, GMGM. I see you. You popped up to the stage. How are you, brother?
I'm great, y'all. Happy to hear you talking about one of my favorite tokens, XRP. I know, Jay, you were talking about making a purchase yesterday, and I just coming in to set the room that like we've started to onboard, I think about 150 different clients now, close to 80 to 100 million in assets under management this month. And the vast majority of that is in XRP. So a lot of people really like this token, and a lot of people are not at all phased by a move like this. If anything, people are just going to scoop up, more tokens. The one thing that I wanted to chat about was an interesting analysis I did the other day. So we're going to be building a fund that is Bitcoin and XRP focused alongside a little bit of cash. Mm-hmm. And we've been kind of looking at like, okay, what's the best approach to potentially rebalancing, or like, how do you determine what's the right mix? Too much tequila, too much margarita mix. It just doesn't make the right margarita.
Whoa. There's no such thing as too much tequila, because no matter how they make it, there's still always the option of a little floater, and it makes it taste so much better.
That is true. I take that back. That is not financial advice. there cannot be too much tequila. So I don't know if you're on the live stream, but one thing I would encourage folks to do is take a look at the XRP Bitcoin price. Like if you look at the relationship between the two are actually have a really low correlation. They have about like a 0.3, 0.35 correlation together since all the way back to like 2014. So we've been doing back testing on trying to see what would happen if you just held Bitcoin, what would happen if you just held XRP, what would happen if you rebalanced them every 6 months, and what would happen if you did this analysis on this Bitcoin XRP value. And so like just a quick note, if you just held Bitcoin in 2014, you put like 200K in Bitcoin, you'd have about an 87x return on your money. Not bad. If you did the same with XRP right now, you'd only have about a 24x. But what's crazy is, you would have had about a $24 million high on XRP, and you would be back down to about 4 million. So the XRP value certainly wildly volatile. But when you start looking at these two together in an interesting sort of mix, like if you had a 45% Bitcoin, 45% XRP, 10% cash, and you rebalance this every 6 months, and you didn't trade otherwise, you just held on for 10 years, you'd have about a 500 to 600 times return. But the thing that I want to really point out, which is kind of where we are, kind of to my point of this, if you look at this BTC XRP chart, like the relationship between the two coins, they have a very interesting relationship where Bitcoin and XRP, if you look at certain points on this chart, like there's like a trend where like XRP, the relationship between the two tokens, if they're at their very low, it's typically 0.00001. And if you weighted yourself to XRP in that sense, and then you waited for that relationship to get to 0.00008, and then you flipped it back down to BTC as like a weight on the portfolio, your returns over the last 10 years would be over 2,100 times the value that you had put in. So you go from $200,000 to almost 460 million if you just look at how you rebalance this. So when we look at long-term holding and we look at not doing things with tokens or rebalancing tokens, it's just very interesting to see the relationship between these two specifically because they are pretty uncorrelated. So I think it's just, we step back and we look, today the market's doing this and that. Over the long haul, just zoom out and be happy that you're holding both.
Matthew, that is wild. Can you give like just like a slight example of what you mean by like rebalance?
Exactly. Yeah. So let's pretend that we'll take $100 and you want to be a little bit conservative and have 10% in cash. So you're going to have $45 in Bitcoin, $45 in, call it XRP, and then $10 in cash. When when the values of those tokens change over 6 months, you might have, for example, 35% Bitcoin, 55% XRP, and still 10% cash. So what you do after 6 months is you take that value and you say, okay, now I might have $150. Maybe the price went up. And now you have to say, okay, if I have $150 and I want to keep that same relationship or ratio between those tokens, I have to rebalance it, which means that I have to sell part of one to add it to the bucket of the other. Or I have to take away from one bucket and add it to the other. So you just have to kind of reevaluate your portfolio, whether it's quarterly or every 6 months or every year. Or in the case of the Bitcoin XRP relationship, I was able to back test that over 10 years with only 5 taxable transactions. We were able to get from 200,000 to 460 million with 5 transactions if you timed them correctly. And that means you could sit on your hands for 10 years, make one trade basically on average every 2 years with a rebalance, and you could do pretty well.
Wow,
that's wild. I mean, that's a great strategy for people too, because as you were talking about that, one of the things that I was thinking about is, when I was kind of loading my bags for the bull run, and then I saw Ondo take like a really big pop, all of a sudden my portfolio, the percentage of what my portfolio was showing me that Ondo's makeup was astronomical. And I'm like, oh my God, what have I done to myself? But at the end of the day, when it came back down, like everything rebalanced itself because the price came down comparison to some other things. But with that being said, as we get through this bull run and people start to see that take shape in their own portfolios, is it wise for that rebalancing to happen during a bull run, or do you just kind of evaluate when there's a cool off period?
I think that's something that's going to be particular to everybody. You could rebalance daily, you could rebalance monthly, you can rebalance really whenever you want. But to your point, Jay, what's important is that you are vigilant about how your portfolio is weighted and making sure that it is in line with your objectives and your overall, alignment with your risk assessment and trajectory. You might have you might let's just take a quick example of like a meme token. You've got Bitcoin and a meme token, right? You've got one Bitcoin and you've got a gazillion of this like other token, whatever it is, but they're basically the same value. If Bitcoin has done like 10 or 20% and this other token has done 150 or 200 or some ridiculous percentage, you can sell a good portion of that, put it back into Bitcoin and still own both the assets, but now they're just more evenly weighted. And when Bitcoin goes up, you're able to, benefit from that if the other token goes down, because now you've bought more Bitcoin and you've unlevered some of the positions in a more risky asset. So it's just really important for people to take vigilance of their own portfolio and kind of look at it and say, what makes me comfortable in terms of the mix of my margarita? Margarita portfolio.
Yeah, well, the sweet and sour mix is not my favorite. I like just a little lime juice, some soda water, and some Herradura Silver. That's my favorite margarita.
And then we can add an airdrop, which is the little Coronita that you get to like put on there, the little mini Corona that gets upside down in your margarita. That's basically an airdrop.
Dude, I love those things. I have such a fun. My first experience with those in Mexico. You know how they as soon as you land, they get you smashed up. So we were, flying to, I think, where did we fly to? Cancun, and then we went to Tulum. So by the time we get to Tulum, you're kind of buzzed up. You had a couple tequilas, maybe a couple normal sized Coronas in the van on the way there, and then all of a sudden you check into your resort in this beautiful villa in this amazing resort. You're a little smashed, and you get a Corona, but it's really a Coronita. And then you look at your hand, you're like, oh man, something's wrong. Like, am I a giant? What's wrong with me? Why is this beer why is my hand so big in this beer? And then your wife says to you, Justin, that's a mini beer. You're crazy. Okay. I didn't know that those little Coronitas existed. I thought it was a real beer. I thought I was crazy.
My dad used to work. He was an actor, and he did a show once with Andre the Giant. And he said Andre the Giant would drink a 6-pack of beer every day, and he said that you couldn't see the beer in his hand. That's how big the beer was. That's how big his hands were.
I think there's actually Andre the Giant would drink like 80 beers like in a session or some. There's like some absurd
we've
number.
Googled this on the show. Yeah, we've
That's
done
right.
him, and there's a couple other guys. There's a baseball player that drank like a fucking so much beer.
How about John Daly, the golfer?
Yeah,
that guy drinks.
He's crazy, right? Just out there ripping cigs, drinking vodka, just barefoot. Like, he was the
dressed to the nines.
Yeah.
And
What's
still
that
shoots
movie?
under par.
With Rodney Dangerfield. What is that? Where he was the guy at the country club with the music.
Is it Caddyshack?
Caddyshack. Thank you. Yeah, he was. He took that persona on in real life, man. I like John Daly.
Just gambling on the games. He's just the man.
His kid, it's hilarious because it's like father like son, right? His kid's got like the Hooters pants. Like there's all these pictures of both of them at Hooters. Like the kid's gonna grow up he'll be vaping probably on the course and drinking like Zimas or those THC cans. That'll be his son on the course.
Oh, nice.
Hey, let me ask you a question.
Zima's back.
Matthew, I know you're a golfer. I grew up on the course myself. Big time golfer. It's been a long time. At this stage of my life, it's really hard to find 4 hours to dedicate to go play golf. But at some point after the bull run, I hope to get back into it. But golf was a huge thing growing up. Zima was a big thing while we were kids. They're honestly, I say kids. That's not the right term. But when we're of drinking age, I should have said. But Zimas on the golf course, there's really. That's like now you got to do White Claws and stuff because you can drink a jillion of them and you never feel anything. But Zimas on the golf course, man, that was back in the day. That was the jam. Did you ever drink Zimas while you played golf?
I have never had Zimas when I play golf, but I am surprised and a little disgusted by how much IPAs show up on a golf course. Like the fact that people are drinking like 3 or 4 of these things and at like noon and it's 90 degrees outside, like it just gives me so much anxiety.
Heartburn and anxiety. But it is what it is. Fam, I appreciate you guys.
It's
funny how like we get into these conversations, how fast they go. I didn't do a 9:30 room reset. I don't believe. I believe we just cruised right by it. So I just want to do a quick one of these real quick. I do want to shout out every single one of you that is here. Literally, you could be anywhere on the planet at this particular moment. You could be listening to anybody, but you're here hanging out with us. So greatly appreciate you. Do yourself a favor. Hit the heart if you're watching on X, or hit the smash the like if you're watching on YouTube. If you are in the space, go down and hit the purple pill, tag some more friends. If you want to try to win $100, we've got an opportunity for you to do that. You can look up at the breakfast table, or you could go to the pin post on the Web3 Breakfast account, and that will tell you what you need to know if you want to try to win $100. And so right now, I am seeing we've got 266 people here. So we're at this moment, we'd be giving away $200 in GOTTI to 2 people. 100 each. But if we get this thing over 300, then that goes 3 people each taking home $100. So the ball's in your court. Remember that.
And don't forget, we got to do a YouTube one today for our YouTube family.
Not prepared for that. We're going to do it next week. I'm sorry, guys. We got to do it next week.
Okay.
Yeah, we got to use like a different program for it.
Did you play golf with the dick out rule? So you stand at, like,
it was your pants down. It was if you tee off at the men's tees, obviously. If you don't hit the ball past the ladies' tees, you'd have to. You can wear your underwear.
They're called forward tees, Jay. It's not 1950 anymore. They call them forward tees.
That's stupid.
Someone kick him out of here. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
Women's tees.
But we would play like I unfortunately had to do that, where you just got to play the whole round with your dick hanging out.
No, it's just supposed to walk. You're just supposed to walk up. All you had to do was take your pants off, and you were there in your boxers, your underwear, whatever, and you had to walk to the red tee box, aka the ladies' tee, and you would have to tee off in your underwear, and then go from. And then you could put your pants back on. It would just be for that hit. You didn't have to keep it
out.
Oh, no,
we did it where you had to play the rest of the round with your dick. Like, not the round, sorry, the rest of that hole with your dick out.
That's brutal.
That seems extremely dangerous.
You Canadians
golfing with your dick
not that big. It wasn't that dangerous.
You Canadians are crazy, man. Wow. I'm in shock, to be honest.
Anything happen.
Dude, you got a fucking dart in your neck.
I like you, man, but you're crazy.
That's what is that? You're my boy, Blue. What is that? Old school?
Yeah.
Old school.
You're my boy, Blue.
Dust in the wind. Dust in the wind.
Oh man,
we're going streaking.
I love when just the movie quote, just rapid fire movie quotes just start coming out.
It's kind of sad that we don't like quote movies anymore because they're so bad. Like, what happened to like good movies? And, like,
everything. The music sucks. The movies are bad. Everything. Like, who even knows who the movie stars are these days? Like, our parents were right. It stinks. Like, the older we get, our parents were right. Kids these days.
I did an analysis on this yesterday. On like 2 weeks ago, I did this analysis. My wife and I were looking at the top 50 Billboard. There's only 2 bands. Everybody else is just like a single person. Like, where did bands go? There's no more bands.
No more bands. Nobody wanted to share the money.
Great point.
They wanted the money off of themselves. Everybody wanted to be the star of the show.
So they're actually making Happy Gilmore 2, and I feel like that will be the barometer for whether or not the entertainment industry is fucked or not. Like, if he goes, like, if Adam Sandler comes out and goes old school Happy Gilmore and it's like stupid and inappropriate, then we know, like, all right, this shit can be saved. But if he comes out and it's more like grown ups, which was obviously made for like kids, but if it's more like that, then we know, like, nah, we're fucked.
You think he's gonna get
this is part of the problem, though, man. We're not coming up with original stories anymore. We're just doing sequels and fucking comic book remakes and video game remakes, and you know what I mean? Like, there's no one of the original stories. Even like, do not see the new Beetlejuice. Whatever you fucking do, that'll be like a wasted 2 hours of your life. You know, it's fucking terrible. The casting is fucked. The story makes no sense. It's like it's nonsensical. Fucking, it's rushed. The whole thing is just like, it's fucking bad, man.
I'm so glad.
Yeah,
it's not good. I'll wait till it comes out on Netflix.
Adam Sandler did release, and he says it is not going to be politically correct at all. So it's going to pay tribute to what the original movies were. They were off color. They're not politically correct. They may use the R word in it. And yeah.
I hope he goes full retard.
Yep. There you go.
You know what's crazy though? It's gonna be because he'll have to get back into it for that. But he went through that whole phase, and like he even did it in movies where I don't think he should have. Was that shibbity 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 blibbity, like that was a little? Come on, motherfucker! Like do something a little different. But he's gonna have to get back to it. I forget what movie he stopped doing it. It was before he got like all the drama ones with Jen Aniston. Isn't it weird that
Jack
he would always play?
The Jack movie is the one where he actually played someone with like where he played. I can't like he was like a
Uncut
hillbilly or
Gems,
something, right?
Uncut Gems, yeah. Isn't it weird that in a lot of those movies
insane.
that he would like play be married to Jennifer Aniston and he'd have to kiss her, like he would always like have his wife in the movie too?
This guy was a genius. He's like all genius. Like these like ugly guys make these movies and they're like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna cast myself in the leading role and I'm gonna pick you're the hottest girl in the world right now. Guess what? You're gonna be in this movie with me. All you have to do is make out with me a few times.
And my wife's gonna watch.
And Drew Barrymore was in a lot of his movies too, because they were like besties.
Yeah. Wow. Good for him. He did it. Adam Sandler, shibbity shibbity. Shibbity shibbity. I would see that. I would go see that, especially knowing
through the
now
hourglass.
what M Kid said, knowing that he's saying it's not going to be politically correct. I would go see that. I would check that out.
Did you ever see the movie I mean, it was the worst movie I've ever watched in my life. It was called something. It was one of his early ones. Overboard, I think.
Going Overboard, it was his first movie he ever did, was the worst movie I have ever seen in my entire life. That was actually scarred me from like almost wanting to ever see his movies ever again. Going Overboard. If you guys have never seen it, you don't need to. It's fucking terrible.
I mean, it literally is. It's an example of that's like an hour and a half of my life I'm never going to get back again. It was... I mean, how we made it after that. I mean, luckily enough, I actually found that movie because I thought, you know what, his movies are quite funny. And I started looking for movies I hadn't watched with him in it. And I come across that. And just never of it. Just the most appalling film.
Well, if that was the first movie he ever made, it might make sense why, in order to get famous, he had to literally, like, Happy Madison Productions made all his movies. If everyone was just like, that was so bad, no. And he's like, oh, damn it, I have to make my own movie.
I have to pay myself then. All right.
I'm taking my ball and I'm going home. I wonder what point in his career did he do shift over to the Happy Madison? Did he make it already? Did he already have, obviously, right? He had the money and then he created his own studio, or was it a movie that launched that?
I think
it was him.
I think, did that not come after Happy Gilmore?
I would think so.
And was Madison not his daughter's name or something like that?
Billy Madison. So it was Happy Gilmore and then Billy Madison were like the two movies back to back that like crushed it. Here, let's look at IMDb.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys ready? Based on Adam Sandler's filmography before founding Happy Madison Productions in 1999 include Going Overboard 1989, Shakes the Clown 91, Coneheads 93, Airheads 94, Mixed Nuts 94, and then Billy Madison in 95.
So Billy Madison is what made him his
was
money.
In Coneheads?
Yeah, and then he must have said, all right. He probably pitched a few ideas after that, and maybe they weren't received, so he said, I'll do it myself.
Or he's like, fuck Hollywood, man. I'm doing my own thing. I want nothing to do with these guys.
Plus, he had all that sweet Conehead money.
And he had the Waterboy and the Wedding Singer. Okay, so he had those three.
Oh, the Wedding Singer was a good Waterboy. Yeah, that was a big one. Wedding Singer was that was a good movie. That was funny.
Yeah, it was great.
Man.
He does just play the same character though, doesn't it? It's just the same type of.
And his friends, like the same cast, like you know who's going to be in the movie. It's like Adam comes to your house. He's like, I'm going to make a movie. You're like, sick. I'm going to make a few $1 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got Chris Rock. You're going to have Rob Schneider.
Tim Spade or what's his name?
He's very much like a one genre. I mean, you look at like Mel Gibson. He could play the hard man. He could play a funny guy. He can do everything. I mean, Adam Sandler. You couldn't imagine him as the lead role in Terminator or something like that.
No.
It's Zohan though. Zohan was good. That was funny.
I'll be back.
But he's typecast and he's embraced it, because each character, there's a few people out there that can play the multiple roles, but not most don't.
So that's interesting to think.
Typecast.
So he typecast himself then, right? Because a lot of that reoccurring character came after he created his own production company. So he was building himself in as these characters. So maybe that was his alter ego. Maybe that's where he felt the most. I wonder, right? It'd be interesting to have a conversation.
Do you want to see Adam Sandler in a big love story and a drama? Who the fuck wants to watch that, right? You're there for laughs. And that's what his entire career is based upon.
Uncut Gems was
Uncut Gems was a drama, right? That was a true story too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe it was, or based upon a true story.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, I'd rather see Adam Sandler do stupid shit. So that's
100%. And
I
know.
Invest in Bitcoin.
What's that?
So I think he invests in Bitcoin. Actually,
you know what? I'm glad that you said that, because I was going to say this is a perfect time to segue back into crypto, because that's what Adam Sandler would want us to do. So guys, smash the like. Well, we're getting back into crypto now. You probably like, this movie talk. This is not what I came here for. I want to know about the markets. So we're back into it. Smash the like. Sorry, sometimes we just want to go on a little bit of a tangent and have a little fun. It's Thursday. I'm not going to be here for the whole show tomorrow. So this is kind of like my little pre-pizza day party. Get it out.
The streets is feeling Adam Sandler. You know what I'm saying?
The streets?
Yeah, man. The streets is feeling him. Still, kind of.
That would be a good person to get into some Web3 action. I wonder if we know anybody that knows him. If we could have a conversation. Adam
Sandler. I can reach out.
All right, cool.
I can totally reach out. I got like I'm 2 degrees away from Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson. I used to work with a guy who works directly with those two.
Oh.
So we're basically 3 degrees, because I'm sure those 2 guys know Adam Sandler through somebody, right?
Yeah.
Through the laws of Kevin Bacon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just use those degrees of Kevin Bacon, get ourselves some of that sweet Adam Sandler action.
There you go. Speaking of the that whole, I knew we got to get into crypto, but I got to tell one more story. The 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon. I don't know what degree makes me. Just like secondhand degree, possibly, or whatever. But Whitney, when she was living in New York before I moved there, she was coming up from the basement of the apartment where the laundry was to go upstairs and into the building, and she physically ran into, or walked into, and bumped into Kevin Bacon. So that's her Kevin Bacon story. So I'm, as it turns out, man, I'm married to a chick that bumped into Bacon.
Wow. You're 1 degree away from Kevin Bacon. That's incredible. Anyways,
basically, you guys can start calling me Pork Belly.
Well, with all that crypto gains, you're going to be eating too much pork.
Oh, I can't wait. So with all my crypto gains, guys, here, we're gonna tie this thing all in full circle right here. Pork belly, burnt ends, Dr. Pepper burnt ends, pork belly burnt ends, right? I cannot wait to make those in my new smoker, in my new house, in my mansion, after we get through the bull run. Right? Because we're going to get through a bull run. Guys, be patient. Understand that there's a lot of things that are happening. And again, none of us can predict the geopolitical stuff, right? And what we can do is we can look at charts, we can look at predictability models, we can look at the things that we have seen historically. We have seen historically what we're looking at is Uptober. And if we have an Uptober, the rest of the year should follow, and we should have a great Q4. Starting in 2025 in January, we might see things go down. We don't know. However, all of things, like everything, again, remember, a lot of this stuff is based on math. It's a lot of timing. There's a lot of structure to it. But at the back end, there's a lot of things going on in the world that may delay, postpone, push things out of the realm of possibility for the moment. Again, holding 54. Matthew, what do you think about that whole thesis of we got to hold 54 to keep the current structure we're in? If we don't keep 54, then we've basically got 3 months of rebuilding. And 2025 is kind of when the game would be back on. But that's just an idea. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's always a concern about breakdown and price and trends. I think one thing that's hard for folks to kind of internalize is if you look at the 6-month chart, like this has just been a choppy channel, like between 54, between 66, like it's up and down 10K. Like, you know, if it's at 60, to me, that's right on the nose. And I think that there's just, you know, of course, tensions in the Middle East or tensions elsewhere have certainly exacerbated this a bit, and a little bit of geopolitical things have kind of exacerbated this. So it's gonna feel like a little poke down. But like September was really not great the first couple weeks, and then we had, you know, they said 8 out of 10 Septembers are bad or down, and it turned out to be really positive. So, you know, it's the 3rd day of October. People need to just like keep their pants on. It's like not a problem. Just like if this gets in a really, really bad position and you break 54, yeah, maybe you're looking a little bit more toward the downside. But I think post-election, this is going to be in a much different position.
And also, can I add to that?
Yes.
I don't think anybody
You don't
in
have to
a
ask,
year
by the way.
or two,
You can just add
yeah.
to it.
Anybody in a year or two, there's not going to be one fucking person that said, God damn it, I bought XRP at 52 cents. I bought Bitcoin at 59,000. I bought Ethereum at 2,300. I bought Solana at 135. No one's going to you're going to be like, God, I wish I would have. So, you know, that's always the positive thing with crypto is, yes, you may not be in money right now. It may dip. It may go down 5, 10%, 15%, whatever the case may be. But in 12 months, 18 months, 24 months, I don't think anybody's going to be sitting here regretting or even remembering what the fuck happened today.
Yeah. Now, again, that's why, like, again, I talk about, like, you know, I bought XRP yesterday, right before, and it was right before the SEC thing. And again, who cares? But it doesn't fucking matter. Like what MKid was just saying there, the upside potential is so much greater than the downside. You know, like, and I was having a conversation with someone yesterday about, you know, like the strategy of don't invest more than you can afford to lose kind of stuff. And I'm wondering if it's time to start changing that narrative. Because again, do we consider putting money into crypto investing if we are in a bull run? Yes, it is. But is it a hedge? Is it a safer hedge than keeping excess money in the fiat system? Right. So if you have excess money, and I know a lot of people here in the crypto space would probably tend to say, I keep most of my wealth in crypto. We move stuff over. I do get paid in fiat, but we move stuff over if we need to or whatever. But like the whole idea of, you know, kind of starting to preserve your wealth in crypto is a much better idea than preserving your wealth in fiat. Because we're seeing where some of these systems are going, right? And if you can hang on to the dollar value in Tether or USDC or whatever stable coin you prefer, wonderful. That's like the whole point, right? Because now you can take your money away from the shitty system that's fucking everybody, and you can put it into your own custody, right?
Or you're taking.
Go ahead.
Can I interrupt you real fast? Because
yes,
what you're describing is this. You're taking currency, right? Your fiat currency, and what are you buying when you buy cryptocurrency? You're buying a digital asset. So you're converting fiat to an asset. Assets appreciate. Fiat currencies devalue 99% of the time, right? Because there's an unlimited supply. So you are asset acquiring when you go into crypto. So that's just the difference. Assets work for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. What does fiat do? It works for you, but in the negative sense. It devalues itself. The longer you hold it, the less money you have. So when you have assets, that's how you become wealthy. That's how everybody in this world becomes wealthy. That's why you can be a billionaire and do nothing, because your assets are working for you 24/7. Working a 9 to 5 is great, but you will never become wealthy doing that. So you're converting currency into assets. You pick the right assets. I mean, the sky's the limit, my friend.
I mean, so like, but even to the effect of, if you wanted to opt out and say you've got 100K in the bank or whatever it may be, like, what is it? Is it in everyone's best interest to say, all right, I'm going to take 50,000, 75, whatever it is, and I'm going to just put that into a stable coin so that instead of watching my 100K worth of money just depreciate over time, because it's savings, it's not going anywhere, or do I put it into a stable coin where I can, you know, maybe buy some crypto with it, or just keep it in a stable coin where I know I've got access to it if I need it?
Well, the stable coin is basically keeping fiat again. So you would have an asset that's there that's not working for you, right? So technically, you want to invest in something that has the potential to go up.
Yeah,
so
but
your
you can get like
$7,
but you can get like 7-8% on a USDC stablecoin, whereas like I get 3% in my Ally. So
yeah, so that,
you know,
that's
still
there you
getting
go.
put to work
Stake
for
it.
you.
If you want to stake it or use on it, yeah, I mean, you're getting a higher percent interest on yield. So yeah, so there you go. You'll defeat inflation at least that way, right?
I think like it's interesting that people think that there's like this 0 to 1 or like this kind of A and B scenario, which is like, do I invest or not invest? And my answer is always the secret answer C, go get more money. Like, go get more income, go get more money, go figure out what you can do to add value, and then go bring in more money so you can go invest. Don't worry about like the pocket of change you have. Go figure out how to go get more money, and that'll be an easier way for you to invest.
What do you think? And I think this is also, and I want to get to some of these hands, but you know, while you're here, Matthew, and I have some time, I do want to ask you one more question, because we get to this part of the cycle, and a lot of people start to have like this bright idea of, I'll just take out a loan. I'm gonna take out a loan and buy some crypto, because you know, listen, as great of an idea as that sounds, and crypto is going to go up, and everybody's got to have their own risk profiles.
Can I tell you something real fast on that?
Some people have changed their life with it.
Brilliant idea if you time it right.
Yeah.
Bankruptcy if you time it wrong, my friend.
Exactly. See, that's the thing. You're a zero or a hero at this point. And some people have won it. And I've heard a lot of horror stories of people who haven't. But Matthew, what do you think?
So there's a way to do this responsibly. I don't think it has to be either or. And this is the last thing I'll say, but I very, very much do this responsibly. But you have, like, the only way to do this is if you consider the total amount of a portfolio that you have, call it $10,000, and you do this with like $1,000 or $2,000 or 5 or 10 or 20%. The challenge is when you get loan offers that are 150% LTV, like when you don't have to put much down and you can get a whole lot, that's when it's really dangerous. So just be really cautious about it. Leverage is a thing that most, if not all, hedge funds use to exacerbate returns, but they also exacerbate the downside. So it's just something you got to be really, really careful of.
And they are professionals.
Always appreciate you guys. And they're professionals. Always appreciate you guys. Thanks, Jay, for hosting this space. You cultivating a great community as always. And I got to head to a meeting, but it's good
to see
you,
brother. Always good to hear from you, Matthew. Thank you so much. Guys, give Matthew a follow before he gets out of the room. Make sure you click on his profile and you follow him. He is one smart mother checker. All right, let's get to, I know we got a couple hands here. I don't know whose was up first, between Justin or Postmaster. Let's go, Justin. It's been a while since we heard from you, brother. What's that? What?
No worries.
What? Go for it.
All right, I'll jump in. Postmaster was first, but I'll jump in because I'm being a nice guy and so polite with the hand up on a Thursday. We're talking about Adam Sandler, and we've got some good stuff happening on the BTC side. It's supposed to be Thursday, Mr. Dude. What's going on, Jay? What's going on? It's
chilling, man. You know,
we're degenerate on the Thursday.
What's that?
I said we're supposed to be on the Degen Thursdays, right?
Well, yeah. Well, you know, crypto's on the move. It's been a little bit since we looked. We were flirting with 59. I think we did 59,800. Where are we at right now? 64.76. What I'm seeing. So maybe we saw the bottom. Maybe we're gonna make our recovery.
We'll see. So last week I wasn't able to come through. I know we said that Thursdays would be maybe a little more partial towards some of the Bitcoin developments and things.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. If you got, hey man, if you know some Bitcoin stuff, drop it on us, bro.
For sure. Well, this is more on the fractal Bitcoin side, so maybe not for everybody. Last time I jumped in, I was talking about minting this Cat20 token, the first Cat20 token that was ever created. Essentially, I dropped the information here. I hope some of you did take that. So if you look at my profile, you'll see that we're creating different tools for inscriptions in the Cosmos ecosystem. Of course, totally influenced and inspired by what happened with ordinals, and also on a chain that is worthy, I can say, of inscriptions, because you look at like Bitcoin, there's no NFTs, no smart contracts without OpCat, for example. And then you look at other networks, other blockchains, whether it be Cardano or XRP, you name it, there are smart contracts, so you can have different types of tokens. So the Cosmos Hub specifically doesn't support smart contracts, so there aren't any other tokens, hence the reason why we're moving with inscriptions on that side. But I definitely would urge everybody to consider looking at what's happening on Fractal Bitcoin, and that is created by the Unisat team. So if you're familiar with ordinals and BRC20s, you should most likely be familiar with Unisat. And I'm saying there's some cool things going on, a little bit of, let's say, alpha in a way, or just to get you guys up on this up to speed with the various metas. But like for BRC20s on Fractal, you definitely want to check out the food meta. So you're looking at things like cookies, you're looking at things like noodles, you're looking at things like, I don't even know what else is minting right now. Coffee, I think coffee's minting.
Any
so
pizza?
If you guys are into pizza, is already gone, my man. Sorry.
What about candy?
Hey, you should come through.
Let's get some candy.
It wouldn't work. It's got to be six characters for those tickers. So yeah, that's a good idea, right? So check out the food meta. Of course, I'm not going to tell you guys where to find it. You can find it yourselves. I'll help you, just because I'm not trying to shill any specific brands or products or whatever have you, right? But then also, you guys want to check out some of the CAT20 tokens, okay? And there's one I'm going to say. No promises. I'm just going to say it. Don't say I said it. But there's one CAT20 called DIPS, just DIPS. That's all I'm going to say. And look for the food meta. Look for some noodles. Go mint some coffee before it mints out. And don't miss the boat. That's all I'm going to say. Don't miss the boat. FB is down from, I think, about 30 some odd dollars down to about $8 or $9 today. So I think it's wise to stack a little bit of FB. There's a good amount of upside. And yeah, Adam Sandler, let's go.
Yeah, we're about to the
I love that, man. I appreciate it. Great. Now, Gringo, he's right up here. See, Gringo knows a lot about the ecosystem. What's up, dude?
Morning. We're definitely looking into picking up some FB right now because it's down, like you said. I love Fractal Bitcoin. I know it's hated by the real devs, like the old school devs in Bitcoin. So do your own research, and it definitely is risky. It's not even considered an L2 or a side chain by many people, but it's fun. I've always said from the beginning, it feels like Wall Street, which is that really bad if you're trying to make profit. And so, if you talk to like developers, like the creator of Stamps Protocol, Mike in Space, he is not a fan of Fractal Bitcoin. So, I just try to give the objective view of it all, but I love it personally. I am looking at picking up more assets in Fractal Bitcoin.
Nice.
You know it. I'm glad to hear that.
Well, let's maybe that'll be a good conversation for next week. Let's talk about the Fractal Bitcoin again.
Let's do it. I tried to bring it last week, but I wasn't available. I think you guys were in Singapore.
No, we actually last week it was Wednesday or whenever the Singapore fight was. We did stream that. That was on I think a Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. But
maybe
Wednesday, we did RWAs actually last Thursday anyway, so it works out. So let's do Fractal Bitcoin next week. I think that's a fantastic idea. Let's come hot and heavy with that one.
Cool.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Hell yeah. All right, we'll get that thing spun up. We'll get the link out so people can we can get some guests, get that thing all joined up. Postmaster, my guy, and then we'll swing it on over to Nathan at Crypto Mag.
Yeah, thanks, man. I just wanted to swing it back a little bit and maybe ask the panelists here a couple questions. Has any of you guys actually read the Bitcoin white paper?
I have.
J-Chains?
Back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah, back in the day.
And
Definitely.
maybe give it another read, because I want to remind everybody that Bitcoin was created the year after quantitative easing was created. And it was a hedge against quantitative easing. Quantitative easing is another form of taxation or theft from governments, and that is why Bitcoin was created. So when we see quantitative easing scheduled, that's when Bitcoin go up. Guaranteed. You just wait a couple months, Bitcoin go up. Quantitative easing is the main catalyst, as well as the Bitcoin halving. So if anybody wants to prove me wrong on this, every single all-time high has come 9 months after the Bitcoin halving. Now the miners, they start storing more Bitcoin as the halving comes because of greed, and they start asking more and more and more as they lose out on the storage of Bitcoin that they have. And then when Bitcoin goes to all-time highs, right, they just sell off their cachet that they've saved up, and it's 9 months almost to the day. So the last halving was 7 months ago. 7 months ago. So we got 2 more months for the all-time high of Bitcoin to be reached.
It puts us through this whole year.
April 20th, we're looking at December 20th.
All right.
That should be the all-time high.
And it should be 80,000, right? It's supposed to be 80,000 would be adjusting for inflation, correct? Sorry.
Average price is 212%. 212% after the old all-time high. So our old all-time high from 2021 was like 60,000. So we'll go 200% off that is my guess anyway. So I'm going to say like 160K, something like that.
Well, I just mean as far as adjusting for inflation, I heard the real price would be the last all-time high was 60,000 roughly. Adjusting for inflation, I think this time around it would be 80 before we even hit the previous all-time high, is what some people are saying.
Plus,
and I like
plus take into consideration the halving, the Bitcoin reward schedule. So you're going to at least double the price because it's half, and then you have your inflation rate as well. Plus, you also got to get that speculation and, how many people are coming into it. So, there's that marketing aspect of it that gives it a little boost. Sometimes it goes up 400%. Sometimes it's more than that. But I think it's going to come down to probably around the 200% mark from the last all-time high. That's my biggest guess. So December, good Christmas is what I'm looking at on my charts anyway. And it should start, the end of October. We should start seeing the euphoric run up, that excitement feeling is in everybody's hearts right now, and,
I know.
And we're all getting ready for it. So
I know, dude. Yeah. I'm so freaking excited. So yeah, I mean, like literally that if that's what you're looking at, so like what I've been talking about for the last couple of days is how I see all that going. Same very similar structure, right? Where again, if we have an October Q4 is going to be awesome, we're going to have a great time. But we always know at the end of the year there has to be some sell-offs, and people have to do that for tax purposes or whatever it may be. And so we will see a little bit of a retracement. I think that plays very well with going into the beginning of 2025 and how we may have a little bit of a cool-off period. But then once we get into maybe after the inauguration and we start to see some policy change in those, again, first 100 days, then we are really going to start to see the upward momentum action moving when you start to hear the government talk about it a little bit more. It's accepted. And because, again, at what point we're going to have to, what's the threshold? I think we talked about this yesterday a little bit. What's the threshold on Bitcoin before we trigger FOMO from the retail crowd? Is it 100,000? Is it, we go up, in the next couple months and it plays into that end of the year where maybe we get to December and we tap out in like the 90s, come back down, float down for a little bit. And then in January, whenever that happens, we run back up. As soon as we touch that 100K, as soon as we break it, now we may touch it, get rejected, come back down to the high 90s or whatever, and then try and retest it. Once we retest 100 and break through, that's when retail FOMO's in. That's what I am calling is going to happen, I feel, because that is such a psychological level, in my opinion. What do you guys think about
that? Completely agree.
Awesome. Nathan, well, now that we got that business out of the way, Nathan, I know you had your hand up. What's up, brother?
Yeah, this conversation always moves so fast in here. I've actually forgotten the relevance of what I was going to say. So I thought, I'll just take my hand down so I don't look like a complete and utter twat. But no, what I was going to say is I think you guys were talking about kind of fiat and things like that. And what I was thinking about this very recently. Obviously, every so often there's a complete finance change in the world, and generally you've got those top 1% wealthiest people, and I think blockchain at the moment, this is going to be the next financial change. And I think the stats are something like 1% of the global population control twice as much as the bottom 9%. Fiat has seen its day now. It's kind of, as someone said earlier on, it's now a depreciating asset. But I was thinking a little while ago, I was thinking, do you know what? This is, again, another financial shift. It's another redistribution of wealth, because at the point, let's say everyone in the world is utilizing cryptocurrency. Everyone in the world is paying their bills, just using that as a normal everyday way of transactions. At that point, in 100 years or whenever that may be, I think it's about every 100 years there's a financial kind of shift. I think, don't quote me on that.
Yeah, you're right. It's roughly 100 years.
Yeah.
92 years is the average reserve currency shelf life.
Yeah, kind of give or take. But I thought, well, actually, we're at the very, very beginning of that. So we're now preparing ourselves, and there's always that shuffle of that 1%. A lot of the 1% then move down to the poorest, and there's a new 1% in existence. And I thought, well, the point that actually happens, let's say in 100 years' time, obviously we'll be dead, buried, and long gone. But in that 100, then blockchain and crypto will then become the depreciation, because how can it go up anymore? At the point that everyone's using it day to day, that then becomes like fiat. Does that make sense? There will be another shift and another change in 100 years. And I completely forget the relevance of why that came up. But it was, I was just thinking that's where we are at the minute. We are setting ourselves to enter that 1% between us.
And I think that's where we're going to have to pay attention to code is law and make sure that we're looking at tokenomics and how secure these networks are going to be. Are they quantitative computing resistant? Are your wallets unhackable? Because that's the catalyst right now. Is this technology going to hold up against the next layer of technology? And we're really banking that Bitcoin is going to be kind of quantitative resistant, but we could end up, backing some kind of crypto with something like gold, silver, platinum, palladium again, or what I see happening is like carbon credit initiatives. Unfortunately, is what's probably going to be the catalyst for mass adoption here. Is that we'll lose the petrodollar, the quantitative easing dollar will fail. We'll have some type of carbon capture or good incentive token that helps the world in some kind of way, collect energy from the ether. And like I said before, or I don't know if I said it today on Space, but it was maybe yesterday on Space, I was talking about dynamo miners that take energy from the earth, from the oceans, from the volcanoes, from where the energy is, and that's what's going to be the catalyst to mine Bitcoin. And it'll be super cheap for us, and hopefully we'll be happy with that for a little while. But we'll have to make sure that it's quantitative computer resistant, and that all of our shit isn't going to get hacked. So that might be involving putting biometrics or some kind of biomarker on every single person's wallet. And then we get into something that looks very much like the beast system from biblical times, and nobody's really going to want that. So this is, it's a great conversation to have, and I think we're right in the thick of it right now.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, I forget who it was that said it, but it was that they were likening blockchain now similar to the gold rush, like hundreds of years ago. That gold, everyone was going to find the gold and mine it and get it out. Now there's not a lot out there to be mined and to be taken out the ground. But those guys that had it there, that was again another reset, wealth distribution.
What was the biggest problem with gold? It was robberies. You have to transport all this fucking gold on the roads, and robbers knew exactly where to get it. So it's the same thing with Bitcoin. We're going to have to be resistant to robbers, or it's going to be a big problem. and they're going to create something that looks like Bitcoin, feels like Bitcoin, but is resistant to being robbed. So it's just history repeating itself, and we're turning gold, because you need gold, silver, platinum, palladium to make Bitcoin miners to manage these ledgers. So we're basically taking gold, stretching it out for its original use case, and that's a transfer of wealth. And yeah, we're going to have to figure out security around that. No matter what we start transacting in, that is always going to be the biggest catalyst, is security.
I think another interesting thing that we have to talk about too is quantum computing, and how these computers can basically, encryption doesn't exist with a quantum computer. I mean, it does, but it can be solved in hours or minutes versus lifetimes. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes.
That's coming down the pipeline faster than we think, right?
Oh yeah, like quantum computing though, I think Andreas Antonopoulos talked about it a few years ago. Bitcoin already is quantum resistant, and also keep in mind that technology is evolving as well. So we'll basically have AI bots we'll have good AI bots and bad AI bots, and I'm just adding this to it. We'll have good AI bots and bad AI bots to help defend us, or it's just going to be an AI war for security, basically. And quantum computing, I mean, I think they will defend against it, but he's right. Security does matter big time, because another thing to think about, why do wealthy people in the past, why did they put their money in precious metals and fine art, for example? Well, because those were hedges against the system. Well, what are they going to do this time? They're going to do Bitcoin and NFTs, because it's so much cheaper and easier. You don't need armed guards all the time like you do at free ports to store your art and to evade taxes and all that. The wealthy, the elites, they're just going to buy crypto and they're going to buy NFTs. And rather than paying a bunch of armed guards to secure them, you don't need to with blockchain.
Yeah.
Well, and they're also too, you got to think about how many businesses are going to prop up. Is it Brink's going to, like Brink Security, where you hold all your valuables and safes? You're probably going to have companies that hold NFTs and insure them, and there's insurance on
Brinks
different
does.
things.
Yeah, Brinks already does with Courtyard. Those NFT physical trading cards. That's the project Gary Vee started. Brinks secures your physical cards. They insure them and they protect them. So yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, so you're going to have you'll probably have an entire industry because again, people that are very wealthy, they're not tech savvy, so they would feel very comfortable paying a service fee with insurance to have it stored at some place. That's just my
MKID's GOTTI vault.
It's funny. You talk about like security and all that stuff, and like robbery and all that stuff. It's funny you haven't thought about in a while. And this used to be a narrative, was like not to wear crypto themed shirts out and about, right? Because like don't wear a Bitcoin shirt, because people who like, they would know that, oh, this guy's a Bitcoin person. Maybe they've got a lot of money, so we're going to kidnap them. Like that was like one of those offset things from like a long time ago. Nobody does it anymore.
You ruined your Christmas gift. You ruined your Christmas gift for me, because I was going to get you a Bitcoin shirt that had your private keys on it, so you could walk around with it. God damn it!
Hey, so I will DM you. If you could at least just embroider the seed phrase on the back, I'll send you that, if that would be great.
Maybe a QR code so people can scan it real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, we're joking, guys. That's terrible operational security.
Yeah, you just have to wear it with one of those. It just has to say those slogans like "Guns don't kill people, I kill people," and then like Bitcoin on it, right? And then it's like, "Oh, he's got Bitcoin. Let's kidnap him." Well, wait, but he might have a bunch of guns. Let's maybe leave him alone.
It's as it turns out, I do have a shirt that says "Guns and Bitcoin," so like that's the one to wear, because someone would be like, "I'm not fucking with this guy."
What about that store? What was that store called where you're like, I have to go there?
Guns and drugs, or drugs and guns.
There you go.
It was like it's funny.
You need some memorabilia from there.
So apparently, it's very well known. It was news to me, but it's very well known about a lot of people around here. And so it's a pharmacy where they also sell. It's like in the mountains, like in the country, right? So it's a pharmacy. They also sell firearms and ammunition. So great marketing. Guns and drugs.
Got a wicked ring to it. I love it.
It's a little weird.
I'd go there,
but we'll take it. All right, guys, I want to let you know you got just a handful of you're on borrowed time at this point. I actually I just got a text message. I've got to go get man, I completely forgot to get my pants for this wedding on Saturday hemmed. And so found a place that can do it like same day, but I've got to run because I got to be back here in an hour. So I want to pick these winners today.
So situation.
What's that?
Oh man, not another pants situation.
I got a new suit. I got a new suit, and I got to make sure I'm not showing up. I'm not showing up to a wedding with baggy suit pants. Like that's not a thing, right? These things got to be tailored.
Let's pick these winners.
Got to look like a winner. No socks, some cognac cap toes with a nice navy suit, white shirt, unbuttoned a little bit, let some chest hairs breathe, no tie. Let's go. I am actually deciding. I do love the cognac cap toes. However, I do have a pair of Dogecoin Chuck Taylors or Ethereum Vans slides. Might have to pull a little, like the family's gonna be like, what the fuck did you just do? But I might have to wear those, and that might start the bull run. So you guys let me know in the comments, wherever you're watching this. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching it on X, if you're listening, you just type it on whatever you want. Should I wear
Dogecoin shoes?
What's that?
The Dogecoin Chuck Taylors, 100%.
The
They're also
Chucks?
like a great entry point for discussions. Like people might not know, like, oh, cool Vans. Oh, that's Ethereum. What the hell is that? Everyone knows Dogecoin. Oh, that's the Elon Musk thing.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Shoes.
Yeah,
they're iconic.
Yeah, you can't go wrong, man. Hey, why don't you pick those winners? And while you do that, MKid, why don't you, since it's GOTTI, give us a little GOTTI rundown, how things are going?
Yeah, tell us about the security of the project and the.
Yeah. You know, there's a lot of security issues when you burn and renounce everything, right? No, man, we are just on our way to becoming 600 times more rare than Bitcoin. I think we're at 550.6. Plus, we have a little bit of Web3 NFTs that we got to burn and do some stuff with that. Total statistics right now, we're sitting at $291, El Cheapo, and 312 tokens available for the world to buy. 38,134 tokens, I believe, is the total supply we're sitting at right now. Every single day, we are deflationary. We burn tokens. And we are, like I said, we're on our path to being 600 times more rare than Bitcoin, which would give us a total circulating supply of 35,000 tokens. And we are just showing up every day, having fun during a bear market, building, sharing, giving away GOTTI. Because I'm a firm believer the best marketing on the face of the earth is putting tokens into people's hands, not paying some PR firm or some banner ad or Will or Shill Group. Just giving people, going direct to the people, giving them GOTTI, giving them something that's rare and scarce. And I tell everybody this: if you have some shit coins that aren't doing you very good, maybe consider GOTTI. But if you guys are in beautiful, good projects, please, we don't want your fucking money. Keep your money where it's at. Support all these good projects out there, NFTs, whatever you're into. Support the projects, support the devs, support the founders of these projects that are doing good. And guys, this is the time. You know, this is how millionaires become made, is you acquire during these times that aren't so great. And that is it, guys. That is
well, it sounds safe, secure, and scalable to me.
Yeah, we keep on burning tokens, but keeps on making it rare, so it gets even, you know, again, bigger piece of the pie for everybody.
The community wins. The community wins every single day, which is one of the coolest aspects of that with the deflationary token. So that being said,
I know you. Sorry, Jay Chains. I know you've got to jump off, so I don't want to take up. But I was going to say, kid, I haven't got any GOTTI yet, and I want to get some. What blockchain are you on?
We are on Solana, my friend. Quick, easy, and cheap.
Okay. Yeah, I was looking into it the other day actually, and I was going through the website, and I thought I've got to got to buy a couple of grand's worth of this. So I'm gonna yeah.
I'm glad you didn't get it. I'm glad you didn't get it the other day. I mean, again, we're paired with Solana. Solana's been, you know, getting its ass whooped a little bit here, so it definitely brought the price down. And we're under $300. I don't know how much longer we'll be under $300, but
it was at 331 when I looked.
Yeah, 292 right now, my friend. So it's you're gonna get a little extra.
Nice little value.
And, that's what you guys. That's, you know, this is the beauty about crypto, is it doesn't go away. right? The price is, no matter what project, your NFTs, it lives on forever. And that's just really, that's the beauty of blockchain. That's the beauty of DeFi. It's the beauty of all these systems is the price is the price today. But it'll be here tomorrow, be here next week, next year, and hopefully for decades and multi-generations. So it's
I just like the idea of it, a bit of fun. It goes up, it goes up, it goes down, it goes down. Man, let's just get some and see what happens.
I think everybody should know when you invest in something, when you invest your money, you know what the risk is, right? I think that's what everybody has to make peace with. Okay, so you invest a thing, you could lose all your money. You know what you could lose, but you don't know what you can gain. And that's what creates the excitement. So if you embrace the loss first, and then you don't know what the future holds, I just think it makes you a better investor overall because it gets exciting then.
We know the upside. The upside potential is way, way bigger. So, all right, here we go. We're going to be picking our winners. So I am looking. I got 2 people lined up, right? 240. Yep. We are giving away $200 in GOTTI, 100 to 2 people. Let's go. Congratulations to the winners already in advance. Best of luck to everybody right now. Here we go. We're at 15%. We're at 36%. 42%. Come on. Here we go. Oh, shit. Yeah, my guy, Carrie Cook. Carrie. My guy. I love it when our community wins. I know that everybody is in the community, but Carrie, as it turns out, between Carrie and Corey are the #1 and #2 listeners by terms of hours at Web3 Breakfast. So I love that, brother. Congratulations. Our other winner is Poor Me _2024. So Poor Me, you are not so poor. You are $100 less poor right now than you were 30 seconds ago. Congratulations to both of our winners. Carrie, hell yeah, bro. I will get you guys a DM. Tomorrow we will be doing, actually.
Well, can I interrupt you, Seth? I want to wish you a safe trip, my friend. I hope the wedding is a beautiful time for you. You guys have a wonderful time up there. It will not be the same without you. But we got a great group of people here that will hold it down, and we'll be thinking about you when we're eating our pizza.
Hell yeah. I'll definitely get airport pizza, and I'll be posting pictures in the morning. Don't you guys worry. I will be with you in spirit. I'll be here for like the first little bit of the show, but I think our flight departs at 9:30, if I'm not mistaken. So I'll hang on with an earpiece as long as I can, and then once the FCC or whatever is FTCC or whatever they are, once they cut the cord on my landline until I'm up, I'll see if I can reconnect when we get up there, but usually that doesn't quite work. I have done a FaceTime before when I was on the plane, and I got myself into so much trouble when the flight attendant realized that I was FaceTiming somebody. So don't do that. Don't ever do that. All right. That's it. So we got no show this afternoon. I am going to be packing. I don't think we'll see about the 7 o'clock tonight, the chop shop. If I can get everything squared away, then we are going to be doing that. If not, we'll have to postpone it to next week, unfortunately. But with that being said, guys, I appreciate you so much, every single one of you, for being here. I love you. This community loves you. If you came up and you chatted and you were part of the conversation today, hell yeah. If you sat in the crowd and you listened, or if you watched on the live stream, thank you so much. Smash the like, hit the heart, do the things you got to do. Next time, if you're like, I want to join that conversation, hit the space, raise your hand, come up to the stage and be a part of it. That's Web3 Breakfast. Help your Web3 journey grow 1% every single day. Come up to the stage and chat. Even if you've never done it, you're afraid of it, doesn't matter. We've had plenty of people who has anxiety, they've gotten over it, to come up to the stage and be a part of it. So maybe that's for you tomorrow, maybe that's for you Monday, or at any part in the future. That's what we hope and dream. So have a good rest of your day, guys. I think that's it. Ciao for now, my friends. Let's get it.